project I've been working on. I kind of wanted to check in with you folks and show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run you through step by step. This is a long lane hive. So it's a long hive that takes a standard Langstroth frame. Been deemed the long lane hive. Now, there's many options of what you could do with this particular box. I'm just going to show you what I've done. We started carrying these at Central Beekeeper Supply. They kind of sparked my interest. I thought, well, I've got a couple colonies that are in single deep boxes. I was going to winter them in them. I thought, why don't I place one of them in these and see if I can overwinter a colony in it. Out there in YouTube land, I've seen a lot of YouTube variations and versions and folks putting bees in these. Thought maybe I'd give it a try myself. So let me tell you a little bit about what I did. When I brought this box home, it was literally just the box. Now these come with a set of legs that you can put on, but I had a treated stand that I preferred having. It was at a much better height for me. The legs, of course, you could have modified, but the reality of it is this was easier for me. The covers are not hinged when you get these. They have to be modified, or they really don't weigh anything. You can take them on and off. But for someone who is doing this to avoid down stacking boxes to work their bees, it would make sense to me that they would want it hinged. That's something that you've chosen this because you don't want a bunch of equipment to down stack to check on your bees and your queen. Like I said, this is a first for me. Let me show you briefly what I've done. So I have they come with 3 entrance ports. I'm going to install 1 colony of bees. There's 9 frames of bees inside of this Langstroth deep box. As you can tell, I moved them from where they were originally at, brought them here and got them up high enough so that when I make this move, they're used to being at this height, so they will come in and find the queen and the brood and rest the other bees. They won't be displaced for very long, and they can work this out. That's about a 2-foot center opening to opening. So first of all, I brought this thing home and I installed 2 hinges, which makes this where I can just come to the back. If you would, Corinne, would you follow me around here, please? And I installed a handle on it, and then the more I got to thinking about having a handle installed on it, my next thought went to my girls having friends, or I have friends over and they don't realize, say they pull up and they walk around the corner of the building, they see this pretty box sitting here and it's got a handle on it, and well, what do y'all keep out here in the box? And you raise the handle, and here you've got thousands of honeybees now that are exposed to that person. So I thought, okay, well, let's add a little bit of security to it. So I put these latches on, and you know, you could carry this as far as you want, but you have to unlatch it. Then I made it, of course, as I told you, I put the hinges on it. I added safety chains to prevent the lid from going, you know, 90 degrees or just flopping out of control over and that's going to pull weight and want to tip and tilt your box. Of course, as these bees grow and this colony gets larger, they're going to continue to weight the box. You saw I've got a couple concrete blocks down here on the base as added stability, and it is fairly rigid. So I've showed you what I've done. I've put the safety hinges or chains in to take weight off the hinge. The box lid is broke past 90, so I'm not worried about it falling and smashing my hands and fingers. Inside these boxes, they have an inner board system. The inner board system over the first initial brooding area has holes bored in it for ventilation. So I'm going to start these bees here, and then at some point you actually can exclude the queen with a queen excluder. Keep her on however many frames you want her to brood on. Allow your field force and house bees to come through this and start putting up honey. That's when you would open your next port down there. So without going into a whole lot of detail right now, because as we go we're going to... Pistol, what'd you run out at me there? Huh? Pistol's got him a blue racer lizard. He loves them. Without going into a whole lot of detail on and on about the box, you're going to see that as we continually film what's happening with these bees. So what I want to do right at the moment is go ahead and get this ready. This box has been eco-treated. It is now weatherized. It's a hot day today. I chose to put these bees in underneath the awning of the shop. They will work in and out from under a cover. They're on a concrete slab. Seems like the best possible place I could have put them. We'll find out as we get into this. I think that we're ready to do this install. I want to show you one other modification that I made. These boxes, although they do come with a queen excluder, they do not come with a follower board. A follower board does just that. As you expand these bees and they need frames, and you're continuing, you've got them into honey production, or if you don't even choose to do that, the follower board moves with the expansion of the colony. So winter time, let's say these bees don't get past 10, 11 frames of bees and comb, this board will shut down their progress. In other words, I'll kill this void of empty box beside them so that they're allowed to heat the chamber only that they're in, and they're not losing heat over to this void, because we will also probably drop in a styrofoam piece against the follower board and make this super warm for them. These walls are 1 inch to 1 3/4 inches thick. Just a great built box. I think it's going to be very well insulated. I think the fact that we put them in the shade is going to aid them in staying plenty cool enough. I built this where I can now install a feeder, and as I do this, I'm going to go ahead and fill this feeder up and then install the follower board before I start moving these bees in. That way the feed's already in, the follower board is in place, so this will aid them in the stress of this move as well. So let me go ahead and fill their feeder, get it installed. I'll guess at how much room they're going to have, because we can, like I said, we can adjust this to shut them down, and we'll start this up. So let me get this ready and we will start the install. If you haven't used this type of feeder before, this is very cool. So you pour your sugar water in, your Pro Sweet in, your liquid feed is in. You just snapped the base back on. It works the same as a glass jar feeder system with the holes in it. Once you turn it over, it siphons. It will fill these grooves here and levelize. This will pull a vacuum back on top of it so that it does not sit there and overflow. Makes a great feeder for Pro Sweet, especially because it's so thick. Can you get a shot of how that's holding that? It's slowly coming out and filling those feed troughs. And then I've made this to fit perfectly like that. Hinge out of the way. We should have enough for bees there, and we'll adjust as needed. All right, I think that we are in pretty good shape. Let's see if we can start this transfer, and I'll make sure that we can get this going. We got a good hot day to do this. I'm thankful for being able to be in the shade. Set my smoker down and out of the way. I don't expect to have any trouble from the bees. All right. As we work this along, we're going to kind of set the components of the hive over here. With the bees. This was the last swarm I caught back in the end of July. This could have possibly been the one that you saw Jason and I get out of the deer stand. I'm not certain about that. They haven't done a whole lot, but they haven't been fed either. We're going to kind of mix them up a little bit as we go here. Try to keep bees and brood and comb at a good equal ratio. Imagine these bees will be glad to get that syrup. I noticed a drone out on the porch of this.
Point out those drone cells too.
The other day. Do what, dear?
Point out those drone cells that bubble out. A lot of times people think that's a queen cell.
What we have here is all of this in this corner is protruding drone cell. Male bees being produced here in the corner. all of this lower tightly capped is worker bee brood. These sparse ones up at the top, more drone cells. Think of them as a bullet sticking up out of a box of shells. That's what it is. I can see the larvae in there beside them. I see a little bit, it's kind of dark in under here, but I see some brood also being capped, fresh brood. And I'll tell you the truth, I haven't even been looking for paying attention to where the queen might be. So far on this, all I see is capped and hatching brood. This is actually, I know this was a swarm catch. This is a wired wax foundation. Old comb I had that I was using for the bait. Yeah, it has a great little population of bees in here. Very calm, gentle bees. I'd say that they had a recent pretty good brood explosion. Still have brood yet to come off. And right there's Mama at my thumb. You see her?
Yep.
All right. Pretty little queen. All right, Mama, you just lead the rest of these girls right along on with their mission. Are you thinking about stinging me? All right, we know that we're starting this endeavor with a good queen. Plenty of bees.
Not a lot of honey yet.
Definitely living hand to mouth. She's just keeping enough brood, keeping them rolling. However, this frame does have, can you see the larva rolled up down in the bottom? Or am I just seeing clean
I think that's just
plastic
the white
cell?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say this was some of their work before the nectar ceased, and they are truly living poor, aren't they, Pistol? Hmm? Hand to mouth. August is a terrible time for the honeybee when you experience the lack of rainfall that we've had and this excessive upper heat. You know, a lot of folks right now probably are realizing they need to feed. All right, so really and truly, I don't see a reason to put in a queen excluder at this point in time. we're not worrying about a honey production. We're worrying about getting bees through winter. So we're going to go ahead and continue just to load these girls in here. They've got their feeder there that they'll get located shortly. Pistol will get that blue racer dug out from under that heat and air unit, and everybody will go back to having a nice day. I kind of think we even can, Corinne, if you'll kind of give an idea here what the folks are seeing. When we put the follower boards back up on top of these bees, which I can probably go ahead and do. Now they get this versus a inner cover. This serves as the inner cover. Pistol, come on, man. Okay. We're going to adjust that follower board I told you about. I think then it will be super simple to come back in here and find out. Corinne, can you see what I got going here? We're going to adjust the follower board. This is its program. There's a honeybee just found the Pro Suite, so that will be something they are going to get with. I'm just going to push that right up to the end bar. We've got feeder in place, follower board up tight. They're probably not enjoying me sweating all over them. I'm not enjoying sweating, by the way. And as far as this goes, where the bees are at this very point in time, I'm going to leave these boards in the box. We're going to try not to trap bees on this side. We know we have the queen installed. These bees inside will start working this. We're going to move this box on back to allow these bees to have a better opportunity. That one just figured it out immediately. We're going to lean this up right here. Bees are going to come in. They've been coming in and coming into here. They'll come in now and kind of deadhead. They'll work their way around to here. Once they get to here and bees start coming to the entrance, that bee just figured it out. As soon as this becomes a obvious action to these bees will all leave this box and they're going to come right out here to the front. They may come up here and get fuzzed up. These other bees will lead them in. This will work out just right. There's no point. It's hot. They're in the shade. I'm not going to stand here, and I could stand there and pump smoke on them and get them to come out of that box. I don't need that box back right now. That's not a big deal. By dark, they will have this worked out. I'll grab the box and move it back inside. It is super hot today. This is probably not anything that you know, if you've got a better choice to do this, spring or September even, but I wanted to get them in. I want to get these built up. I didn't think they were just a huge colony, but the great thing about it is I've got them in this box now. That's over with. I'm going to continue to monitor their progress. You'll get to see it on our channel. So I appreciate you watching us. I thank you for each and every subscribe that y'all do, and every like. If you've got questions, please post them. We'll try to get them answered. And until we see you again, roll that beautiful bee footage. Thanks for watching.